Hi everyone, and welcome to my channel. Today's video will be about, guess what? Today is my 1 week, that's right, 1 week surgery from having VSG surgery. And for those of you that may not know what VSG stands for, it stands for my dog is down here playing, moving around. But it stands for vertical sleeve gastrectomy. And it is a weight loss surgery that is a tool to help you lose weight. And I'm so excited because you guys are along for this journey with me. And I just wanted to get on here and just talk about some things that I have experienced over this first week and just also get a little feedback from you guys if you may have had VSG surgery, if you've had a gastric bypass, or if you have a lap band, or if you have Obalon. And there's one more surgery that I cannot think of the name right now, but I'll come back and say the name on another video. But anyway, I am so excited that I've reached a week. I've had what I would consider some weird things, like some weird dreams about food and things like that. But for the most part, everything has been great, and I'm just really excited to be on this journey. So I'll tell you a little bit about how everything went for me. I started a while ago on this weight loss journey. I've lost weight before naturally, but I hit a plateau and it seemed like I could never get out of this one section of the 300 Club. And I'm happy to say that as of today, I am 5 pounds away from being out of the 300 Club. Yay! So last Wednesday was my surgery, and I had my surgery in the morning. It was scheduled for 10 a.m. So I arrived at about 8:15 to go in to get ready for the surgery, and went in, signed in, and then I was called to the desk to register. And I want to say maybe about 2 minutes after that, I was in the back. So they took my blood pressure, they took my weight, and the date of surgery, my starting weight was 315 pounds. And so we did that, and then I got into my room and I had to change my clothes and get into a surgical gown. And the surgical gown that they had me on or that they had on me was a bear hugger. And I don't know if any of you all have seen that or seen the machine, or if you've been in hospital visiting someone and maybe seen it in their room. But it's this machine that it goes with the gown, and the gown has certain holes and pockets in it that the machine fits into. And what it does is it warms you up, basically. So if during surgery you need to be warmed up, or maybe if you're cold. I haven't really done a lot of research on it, but I do know that that is what the machine is for because I asked. Because this is actually my second surgery this year. Um, I've had two surgeries. I had a tonsillectomy in June, and now I've had the weight loss surgery in September. And, I struggled with making the decision to have this surgery for a while, actually for years. And I did research, and a long time ago, I used to be against it because I thought that for me, nothing against anyone else, but I thought for me it meant that I didn't have the discipline to lose the weight naturally. But I had proven to myself that I had the discipline to lose the weight naturally because prior to me making the decision, I had lost 60 pounds. And then last year, I made the decision to start this VSG journey. And I was, working towards losing weight during the check-ins, because you have to do a 6-month check-in every month. I had to go to my doctor's office and be weighed in. And I actually lost my father last year, and I missed my check-in for that month, and I had to start all over. So whatever you do, make sure you are consistent and that you check in monthly, and that you really just follow the rules for the program, for the surgery. The rules are not there just to make things hard for people, but the rules are there just to help us to remain consistent, help us to know what we are basically getting into, and just to make sure that we start a pattern and a habit of doing what we're supposed to do so that we're successful. Because like I said, VSG is a tool. And so it's a tool to help you lose weight, because I'm going to tell you, you have to be disciplined. You have to be disciplined with your surgery. If I try to overeat, if I try to overdrink, it's going to hurt. And so I have not had any experiences like that thus far, but I have had some pain. And I'll get to that later. So anyway, I went to the hospital, and by the way, I had my surgery at St. Agnes Hospital in Baltimore, Maryland. And I went back there. They prepared me, prepped me, and everything. And it was actually really funny because you have to do a pre-op class with them for their program. And I did the pre-op class, and they tell you, what to expect, things that will happen the day of surgery, the day after surgery, and so forth. And so, one thing that they told us is that you'll get a catheter, and you'll also have this other device that will be connected to a tube that'll be inside to catch any liquid or fluid, that may drain from the surgery or where the incision is. And so when my doctor came in, he asked me had I given them a sample and empty my bladder, is what he said. And I said, I did. He said, good, because you're not getting a catheter. So he kind of, it's 3 doctors that are a part of that program at St. Agnes, and he kind of changes it up a little bit. But I thought it was funny because I was just like, I looked at my husband and I said, ooh, well, I hope I don't go to the bathroom or the table. So anyway, and I told him, I said, I gave them everything I had, because one of the steps to prepare for the surgery as well is you have to do a 2-week liquid diet. So the hospital requires a 1-week liquid diet, but my doctor still requires a 2-week liquid diet to give you the chance to kind of have that extra week as a buffer, because it's a transition that you have to go through of changing your mind and your body and what your body is used to. And so if you have a slip up or something because you may be getting in, or you just may have a stressful day or something, and you may be an emotional eater like I am, and you may have a slip up. So it just helps you to kind of like wean yourself off doing those types of things to get you to the hardcore 1-week liquid diet. And so I did the 2-week liquid diet, and I told them, I gave them whatever I had, which was about this much, because at 12 midnight, the night before surgery, you can't drink anymore. So it wasn't really much for me to put in the little, urine specimen jar, and it wasn't really anything for me to, I guess, release on the table, because I didn't have anything to give. So anyway, the surgery took, I believe, about an hour and a half. They tell you that it's going to take up to 2 hours, but they have gotten it down to an hour, to an hour and a half. And so, and I also found out after I woke up that I had a hernia. And that's probably why I was a mess in the recovery room from, the surgery, because my stomach was hurting so bad, y'all. Oh my gosh. And I was in that recovery room like, my stomach hurts, my stomach hurts. Somebody help me. And I know those nurses were probably like, get this woman out of here. But I'm sure that they're used to that. I'm sure there were people in there probably worse than I was at some point in time, even probably at that. But I remember walking into the hospital and all of that stuff. I remember everything up until after I was on the table and they had my arms out like this. And then they told me to take deep breaths as they put the mask on my face to receive the medication to basically knock me out. And so after that, I remember kind of being a mess in the recovery. I remember a little bit of that, waking up in and out of sleep. And the next thing I know, I was in my hospital room. So I didn't remember being rolled to the hospital room or anything like that. And y'all bear with me because I keep calling the hospital a hotel. I don't know why, but it was a really nice hospital. And so I was there for 3 days and 2 nights. So that was my first day, and I remember having to go to the bathroom so bad, but I was so nauseous that I just felt like I couldn't get up. If I moved, I was going to vomit. Did anybody, feel like that? Has anybody felt like that? If you've had the surgery, did you go through, feeling nauseous when you woke up? Because I had, so my sister, She had the surgery, and she is 2 years out from the surgery, and she's done great. Her name is Rochelle Monique. So if you want to follow her, go look her up. But she did so good, like, and she's been doing great. And I was there with her for the whole journey, and she's now here with me for the whole journey. And so my husband and my kids came into the hospital. My husband was there with me when I went into surgery, but he had to leave to go pick up our kids from school. And he came back, and so they were able to see me, which was a bit emotional for me because my son, who is my oldest, he doesn't do well with mommy not being okay. He doesn't do well with, like seeing me with the IV in my hand, and I had the pulse ox, which is, how they monitor your oxygen and all of that stuff. He doesn't do well with all of that stuff, or mommy, and mommy being in the hospital, or mommy being sick. And so he came in the room and was like, "Hi, Mom." And went and sat down and had to get himself together. But my baby girl, she was like, "Hey, Mom," trying to get up in the hospital bed with me. She was like, "Okay, I'm here. What we doing? I'm gonna take care of my mommy," and everything. And my son was too, but he just had to like get himself together, in his own time, which was fine. And they were there with me for a while to visit, and then they had to leave. And I told my husband, who did not want to leave me, sorry guys, my dog is really doing the most right now. But anyway, he didn't want to leave me, but I told him when, we were leading up to the surgery, I said, I know what our reality is. We all had new beginnings. My son and daughter started school. I was having a surgery, and this was just a whole process. And this is a new beginning even for my husband, who has lost a massive amount of weight as well. He used to be 410 pounds, and he lost 150 pounds. And I'm just so proud of him and just grateful to him for also just being an example. And it's not easy every day, and we go through our ups and downs and things like that. But he's been there for me and been my rock, and he's just taking care of me throughout this whole experience. And so anyway, being in the hospital, I was just like, oh my gosh, I really did this. Like, I can't believe I really did this. And I'm excited that I did it. And I'm glad that I decided to live for me and not live for the opinions or by the opinions of others. Because people will give you opinions all day. And one thing that I've been told, or two things that I've been told, is you take what people say with a grain of salt, and you eat the meat and spit out the bones. And I believe that that is, not everything that people say to you or that you hear is going to be for you. But what you do is you seek the wisdom in what's being said, and you use the wisdom, because some things may not be for some people. And so one person that may think that the surgery is unnecessary, or that the surgery is too risky, or that surgery just shouldn't happen, may give you an opinion of, being totally against getting the surgery and all that stuff. But they may also have some wisdom in there, and, maybe how you could possibly try to lose weight, that you could um, use wisdom. I'm sorry, y'all, that you could use wisdom for the process of leading up to your surgery. So if they tell you, be more disciplined, which is true. All around the board, we got to be disciplined. You have to be disciplined. You have to be disciplined enough to listen to your body, to know when you need to stop eating, when you're full, when your body may not like something, so it may reject it. All of that. You got to be disciplined. But you can be disciplined in the process as well as leading up to the surgery. So, you have to lose weight. You got to check in every month for 6 months. You got to have a psych evaluation. You got to meet with a nutritionist. You got to be disciplined to make sure that you get all of that done, or you won't be successful. And so I decided to live for me and do what I needed to do for me. And so here I am celebrating 1 week. 1 week. I'm so excited, and I'm just grateful for how things have turned out. And I will say that I really truly believe that I'm going to be successful. My husband tells me that I'm very strategic, and I think it's because of the planner within me. Because I wanted to make sure that I was very prepared for the return home from the hospital. Because of course, in the hospital, they're giving you everything you need. And so for me in the hospital, I was prepared not to have anything to drink the first day, which was the day of surgery, because you have to wait until the next day to have a GI tract test done, which is where you go to the X-ray department in the hospital and you have to drink the what is the stuff called? The contrast, so that they can see in your system. And so what they do is you drink that and it goes down into your system and they take a picture of it or x-ray of it to make sure that there's no leaks or anything like that in the incision and your new tummy. Oh, and by the way, my new tummy, her name is Izzy the Itsy Bitsy, so she's Izzy for short. And I know that probably sounds crazy, but it's something my sister told me. She was like, "Yeah, you got to name your new tummy. You got to name your new tummy." So I'm naming Izzy and naming her Izzy because she's now my new friend, and I got to get to know Izzy, and Izzy has to get to know me, and that's what I'm doing. So with everything that I drink or I taste, I see how Izzy reacts, and I see how it's going to either work out for me or not work out for me. So I will say that in the things that I've had, so even like my liquid vitamins and the broths and the soups and the water and the oh, and I have a funny story about the water and the low calorie sugar free drinks. I have not vomited anything because that sometimes happens um, with VSG patients and bariatric patients altogether. Whew. Excuse me, y'all. I am tired. I've been up all day, and I wanted to get this video in, and I actually recorded my video earlier that I really thought was great and everything, but my computer malfunctioned, and I lost everything. I texted my sister. I was like, I lost an hour of footage. She was like, it's okay. It's the life of a vlogger. You're just going to have to do it over. And I was like, oh my gosh, but I just wanted it to be fresh and, just exciting. And I'm very excited now. I'm telling you guys, I'm not giving you any drag or anything like that. I'm really excited about the fact that I have 1 week in and I'm so excited about this journey. And so anyway, water story. So after I had the GI tract test, which was the next day, they tell you that you have to get down 3 cups of water, but it's three 16-ounce cups of water. So it's actually 2 cups of water in each cup. So I'm like, oh my gosh. So I'm like, all right. So once they tell me I can drink, I'm like, all right, I'm gonna do this. So I started sipping. Well, those sips didn't go so well because it hurt. And I think what it is I still have like the gas that they use to do the surgery. And I really need to research a little more, but I do believe that they use a gas to do the surgery to fill up your stomach and everything. Well, the gas is still in me. I'm not trying to do TMI, but I'm keeping it real for y'all. This is part of the process. And it's like the gas is here, and whatever I drink or I eat as far as like a soup or something to swallow, it's like, and they just in there doing their own thing. And I mean, it's not terribly painful, but when I first started drinking, oh my gosh, it was terrible. And so I was trying to get through the water because I knew that's what they told us we had to do. So the nurse brought me some little medicine cups to pour some water in and sip. So I started doing that. Still was having the same issue. And so she was saying, well, you're going to have to walk around because walking will help move the gas around and everything. So I was like, all right, let me try to get up and walk. Well, I started feeling nauseous and my care tech came in and she said, you ready to go for a walk? I said, I don't know. I just feel like I'm going to vomit. And so she came in with the alcohol swab, y'all. So let me tell you, this is a trick and it works, y'all. She took the alcohol swab and rubbed it on my nose, and I inhaled the alcohol, and the nausea went away. I was so excited. I was like, yes, I can walk with this. So I'm walking, y'all, walking, sniffing the alcohol swab, rubbing it, sniffing, rubbing. My sister's recording a video of me walking, which you should see right now.